Hey friends, this is Angelica. Thanks for joining me today. I thought I'd do a little bit different of a video and jump on with a microphone and just hang out with you for a little bit. I'm going to give a tutorial on a folio that I've been making. I'm going to be sending out this folio to my family filled with pictures of the past year, what we've been doing, our dogs, my daughter, my husband and I. So I thought this would be a really fun way to give the photos out, and I'm kind of swapping these out instead of Christmas cards this year. So the paper that I used for this folio is from Prima. This is the Candy Cane Lane Christmas paper line. This is from last year, I believe. I saw it last year. I couldn't get my hands on it, so I was so pleasantly surprised to find it in stock last week on scrapbook.com. I wasn't even looking for this paper, but oh my goodness, I snatched it up as soon as I saw it. I went straight into the cart. So this is the Candy Cane Lane paper pad. I did get the 26 sheets. I used almost all of it. So I just have a few pages I can show you. There is gold foiling all throughout the book, which I think is super charming. And then you have these beautiful illustrations of these vintage little kids and Santa. Excuse me. Lots of ephemera or elements, whatever you want to call them, to cut out. There's, did I show you the tags? Yeah, there's tags and note cards. This little scene right here, I love that little girl. And then like this Santa's got gold stars in the background. Just an absolutely beautiful paper pad. I have a feeling I'm going to buy another one, and who knows if I'll touch it or not. I had so much fun working with this paper. So I've made a few of these folios. This is what I'm going to be sending to my family this Christmas instead of Christmas cards. This one is done. I do have pictures in it, so I will show you how I'm going to open it up and introduce it to you first, and then we'll do the tutorial on how to make this. So when you open it, it is open and closed with a magnet. There is a magnet in this pocket. There's a magnet under this little guy. So when you open it up, you have a pocket here, and I did just take a piece of paper. I backed it with cardstock, and I put some pictures in it. So it's my daughter and I out in the rain. This was me a couple weeks ago. My husband and I went to a concert, again, out in the rain. Open it up on this side. There is another pocket, another paper backed with cardstock. It's my daughter. We went we went down to Lake Tahoe back in March and played in the snow. That was pretty cool. But this cover is one piece of paper. It's a 12 by 7 paper, just scored in 4 places, so it can fold. And there's also like spines, so it will give you some room to fill the book with. Now this is page 1 with this sweet little girl, and I didn't do anything to this page because I just think she was darling and I did not want to cover her up. Open it up, another pocket, more. Another ephemera with pictures inside, and open it up again, another pocket, these two backed with cardstock, some more pictures. And I backed the paper with one piece of cardstock. I just felt like that was going to save a little room in this folio instead of adding an extra sheet of cardstock on every single one of these, and it worked out fine. This one I'm going to just leave alone and let Vera draw a picture, write a little note to Noni or to her Nana. And then I have one last one here, Grandpa and Vera. So there are 2 center pockets. The taller pocket does go all the way to the bottom, and then I added a smaller pocket. I thought that would be fun also. Let me grab a gift card. I thought it would also be a great place to add a gift card. If you'd like to give out gift cards, my daughter and grandpa, my daughter and my dad love ice cream, so I'll probably put a Baskin & Robbins card in here, maybe like a Starbucks card for Noni. But yeah, so this is what we're going to do. I think that covers the book. If I forgot anything, I will just do it during the tutorial, talk about it during the tutorial. But unfortunately, I don't have enough paper to make a book with the candy cane lane, because I've already made for this one. I used a little bit different paper inside, but same concept. I did also use my die cut machine, which I will do in this video too, because I don't have a little circle punch, but I did want those half circles in on my pockets. So let me get all of this put aside, and I will show you the paper that we are going to use. Oh, I do, and I have lots of paper scraps. I just needed taller pieces for this book. So I was pretty disappointed I couldn't use that. But what we are going to use is another paper pack from Prima. Excuse me. This is the Christmas Market. It's from the same illustrator, Frank Garcia. Super pretty, a lot more vintage, a lot more muted colors, which that is actually right up my alley. I love muted colors. I love this green and the distressed gray. I did put all the papers I didn't use in the back. And then I also bought some ephemera packs, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to use any on this book. I might, whatever paper scraps are left, if I do another project with this pad, I'm just going to use these for Christmas cards. I think that these make really, really pretty Christmas cards. I mean, there's a little, I don't know if that's, it says Magical Christmas, but I love this little strip. I think that'll be a great sentiment on a card. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the rest of this card. Sorry about that. Okay. So let me grab my scoreboard. Okay. I have scoreboard. I'm going to be using two different scoring tools. I like to score with this one just because it has a better point than this, but I also like reinforcing my score lines with this bone folder. I just think it does a lot better than this one. We are going to start with a 12. Get this off. A 12 by 7 paper, and this is our cover. So we're going to score at 3 3/4, 4, 8, and 8 3/8. Okay, so this is going to give us a quarter spine on this side, which is actually going to be on the left side, and a 3/8 spine on, or this is the right side, this is the left side. So let's fold this real quick. We're just going to reinforce those lines. If you hear any noise in the background, my dog Molly is just getting down on her bone right now. All right, so you see there's a small spine right there, giving us room to fill the book with. And I wanted this little Santa Claus to be on the front cover. That's why I picked this page. Now this is a really pretty like collage page, and there was a few different scenes on this page I loved, but I liked him the most, so I decided he gets the front cover. So this is what it's going to look like, and now we are going to fill it. So we're going to move on to the first page. I'm actually going to score page 1 and 2 right now while I have my scoreboard here. So page 1, this is going to go on the left side of the book. This is going to be scored at, well, actually this, first of all, this is 4 3/4 by 7. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch and at 3/4 inch. Okay, so we have a quarter spine right there. Page 2 is 4 1/2 by 7, and this is actually going to be on the left side. So I want my scoring over here because I don't want to cover her up. Plus she is in the correct position. So if I scored over here and try to put her in the book, she would be upside down. So I'm going to turn her upside down going to score at 1/2 inch and 5/8. So right here. Oh no, I scored it at the wrong one. I meant right here. That's okay. All right. So let's fold these and get these in the book. So I have to remember not to fold that third line. This is just going to have a 1/8 inch spine. And if you're using cardstock first, if you have like single-sided paper, or you just like the sturdiness of cardstock first before adding your paper, I would kind of play around with the measurements. I probably would add at least a 1/8 inch on the cover and on the spines. So just play around with some math and scoring before cutting your pretty paper. I'm just using the double-sided paper because this is a pretty good weight. If it was really thin, I would back this with cardstock. So this is going to be the tab, and I'm going to add adhesive to both of the tabs. Okay, so this is, I think this was the second part of this page. I actually cut, the paper pack comes with 2 pages of each print, so I used both of the pages of this print. Is it the same? Let's look at the back. Oh, it's not. This is the other part of this page. I love her. There's a little boy at the end of, on the bottom of this page. I liked him too, but I didn't think, you know, I have a daughter, so I'll use the little boy on something else. But let's get these, get some adhesive on the tabs. I like to use score tape. This is 3/8 inch score tape. And I'm going to try and get it as close to that first score line as I can. Okay, and my lighting is a little tricky in this room. So what I'm going to do is try my best to see the score line on the other papers, because on the cover, that paper is pretty busy. But I think I can do it. I'm also going to add a little bit of glue to the backs of these strips of adhesive, just so I have a little time and I can pick up the paper if I attached it in the wrong place. So where's my glue at? Here it is. I use Art Glitter Glue. I love this glue. I have used it for years. I know that there's new glues out on the market, but I'm kind of the person of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I'm just sticking with my glue. Now this glue does dry super, super fast. So that is one thing to keep in mind when you're using with this glue. But real quick, I am going to put this next to the score line that is closest to the edge. So right here is the center of the book. You have a spine, and I'm going to put it right next to the spine. But I want it on the other side of the score line, so I don't it doesn't get in the way when I try to close the book. Let's see, I'm having a hard time seeing that spine. Okay. I think that is good. So, did I do that right? Hold on. I did not do that right. Get this off real quick. What is going on? Did I score something wrong? Oh, I put it on the wrong side of the score. Oh my goodness. Angelica, wake up. Well, guess what? I might have to cover that up. What I was supposed to do was glue it on the other side of the 4-inch score line. Oh my goodness. So I'm not even going to take that out. You know, sometimes we make mistakes. So this is going to be on the other side of the 4-inch score line, and it's going to cover the center. So see, good thing I had some glue on here. So let's try that again. This is a little stuck inside. Okay, and I like to use needlepoint with this glue too, just because it does have a pretty watery consistency, so I get to have full control of where the glue goes and how much I want to use. If I push too hard on the regular bottle, a lot comes out, so I just really like the needlepoint. You can get a needlepoint to go with the bigger bottle, but I don't really like working with bigger bottles, so I buy, I think it's Doris small, these little bottles, and just fill it up. And I just want to make sure I have that over the score, or on the other side of the score line, so I can fold this over. Wow, look at that. It looks so much nicer. It makes a lot more sense. Okay, so I think we are done on this side. Now let's do the other side. And again, we're going to do it on the inside score line. That's the 8-inch score line. We're going to put it right there. Okay, let's do the same thing. Let's get the backing off. Get the glue. I do have different glues that I use on projects where I need a lot more time to work with. If I'm putting die cuts together, or I have a lot to glue, I need to use a lot of glue. I do have another glue that I use because when I have to use a lot of glue, by the time I'm done putting glue on my page, part of it's already dry. So I'm telling you, the art glitter glue just dries so quickly, but I like that. And it's not really messy, and it doesn't smell. I have such a sensitive nose, and a lot of glues, when I open up the bottles and use them, oh, I just get knocked over by the smell. Okay, so the center is now done, and we're going to close. This is page 2, page 1, the cover. So I scored the lines. So this is going to have the biggest spine. This has the second spine, smaller spine, smallest spine. So you do want to close the book in that order. Now we need to make pockets. We're going to have pockets here and here. So let's score the pockets. And I did cut two different patterns for pockets because I don't know what pockets I want to use. So let's look at that real quick. I think for this page, that is going to be good. And then for this page, I thought maybe that's just a little too green gray on green gray. So I cut these papers. So I think this is what I'm going to do on the inside, and then the polka dots on the outside. So I'll set those aside. We need to score the pockets. Now these pockets are 8 by 2 3/4. On the 2 3/4 side, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then at 1/2 inch on each of the sides on the 8-inch side. So that's one. There you go. Yeah, like my Martha Stewart scoreboard. I bought this 6-7 years ago. I started crafting 7 years ago. I was pregnant with my daughter, and I decided, because I am older, God blessed us with a baby in my 40s, so decided just to, I knew this obviously was my last pregnancy, so I decided just to take it really peacefully. So I quit my job, and my husband bought me a die cut machine, which I thought was really sweet, but I really didn't know what I was supposed to do with the die cut machine. So I went onto the internet, or I went onto YouTube. I found the card making world. I found the mini album world. So the card making world seemed a bit more expensive at the time than card making or mini albums. Mini albums seemed to be just paper and cardstock. So I went that route for the first year. Real quick, I am going to cut the edges of the pockets where the score lines meet right here. I'm just going to snip right in between there. And that's going to make it easy for me to fold my pockets. What are you doing, Gabby? My golden retriever is chasing her tail right now. Okay, excuse me. You know, like I said, I started mini albums first and I followed a lot of tutorials, but once I kind of figured out how to do it, how to make your own pages, then I started making my own folios, and then I decided to get into card making. So I ended up putting my paper aside for years, which was so, you know, now that I'm looking at paper and playing with paper, let me get these folded. I am really disappointed that I went 5 years without touching paper. I have a blog. The name of my blog is My Love for Paper, because I just love it so much. And we actually had an accident in our back bedroom, in the basement, which that just happened, and that's been a little bit of a headache. We had contractors in our house all week giving us bids to fix the outside wall leaked into the bedroom and just soaked the carpet, and we had to rip everything out, get all the furniture out of there. But we had a bed in that room, and under the bed I kept all of my mini albums. I kept all the papers that I had used in the albums, because I usually put them back in their paper pad bags so I can keep the papers organized. So I found a whole bunch of paper back in the from 6 years ago, lots of Cartabella papers, which is one of my favorite paper companies. I like Echo Park also, but their Cartabella line is, to me, I love the way it feels. I love the way it smells. I love the illustrations. It's so romantic. I also love like the really retro Christmas lines. I can't think of who the illustrator is, but I found one of his lines that I had bought, I guess 6 years ago. I think it's called Merry Merry Christmas. Oh my goodness, so cute. I found an album that I had made with that paper. I might, if you're interested, I can make more folios like this, and I'll make that folio because it is darling. It has lots of pockets, and it's just, I actually made the book around that paper pad because the ephemera that you can cut apart, the little note cards you can cut apart are so cute. They're like old vintage packaging labels. Again, that was a paper pad that was really hard for me to cut into. I don't even know if it's available anymore. All right, I did buy the newest paper pad by this illustrator, so I probably will cut into that next week. And I'm going to do the last pocket, and then we're going to get these in the book. When I'm not talking, I actually can just zip right through these, but I don't want there to be a lot of dead air, so kind of jabbering away. Do y'all craft with anybody? I have a hard time crafting with people. I would rather craft by myself, and when I get together with crafting friends, I just like to talk. So I don't do it too often. I don't craft with other people too often. I did go to a lawn fawn touring class up in Bonnie Lake. I live in Washington State. I'm just south of Seattle, and hence the rain pictures. But I went to this lawn fawn class, and I met a lady who, she's so sweet. Her name is Michelle, and we became such good friends. But yeah, we don't craft together. We just jibber jabber. So I thought these two, let me make sure. Okay, I have it opened up wrong. Okay, so we're going to do these two right here. But you know what? I just realized these are two different. Is that going to be okay? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's get these pockets on. I'm going to not put the glue on these pockets. I'm just going to see if I can do it without the glue. Get it going. Try and save some time. All right, so that pocket is done. Let's do this side. Yeah, we had a lot of rain a couple weeks ago, and I went into the back bedroom. My parents were coming into town, so I put a fan in the back bedroom. So we always give our bedroom to them, and we sleep down in the basement when they come up here from California. So I put a fan back there, which is like a fan slash heater, little heater fan. And I went down on my knees to plug it into the wall. And when I stood up, my jeans were wet. And I was, yeah, that was not a good moment. Okay, so it looks like the writing is actually in this direction. So I'm just going to just go with it because you can't really make out the words. But that is something to look out for when you're making pockets. Just make sure that the just little details like that is in the correct position. But yeah, my knees were wet when I stood up, and my husband wasn't at home, so I called him immediately. Like, I think we have a problem. And he said, I'll take care of it once your parents leave. Well, once they left and we went in there, it was, yeah, the carpet had to immediately come out. Okay, so this is done. All we have to do now is put the pockets in the center, and I am going to cover these tabs too. So all of this is going to get filled up. So the pockets, let me put this aside. We'll bring the scoreboard back out. The pockets, let's start with the large pocket. This is 4 by 7/8 by 4 7/8. Now this is the correct position, so I want the bottom flap. I'm going to score that first so I don't make a mistake. I'm going to score that at 1/2 inch, and then the sides I will score at 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. And like I said before, 4 7/8 by 4 7/8. Excuse me. And then the smaller pocket that will go on front. Put these here so you can see them. And make sure that, yeah, this is the side I want, little gingerbread man. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. This is how I do all of my pockets. 1/2 inch. And we will cut those edges off like that. Oh, this one's hard to see. Okay. I had to get glasses. I haven't worn glasses my whole life, but I am 47 now, and my eyes just, they don't work anymore, so I had to go in and get glasses. My far sight is fine, but when I have to do something up close, especially crafting, yeah, I can't do it anymore. I have to have glasses. So I bought some glasses from Costco, just, you know, the 3-pack for $15 reading glasses, but they're plastic, and I don't know. I wanted to be able to see better. Plus, I'm going on a big trip in a couple weeks, so I just wanted to have glasses I can keep on my face and not take them off all the time. So I ordered some transition glasses, and they just came in, and I've been wearing them. I'm not wearing them right now, but they have actually been really hard to get used to. I have to figure out where the prescription towards the bottom is at, so I'm moving my head around a lot when I want to read something. But I'm going on a trip next week, so I really need to get used to those glasses before I leave. I'll probably wear them all day. I'm really excited about my trip. I can't talk about it yet. But I will tell you all about it when I get back. Here you go, right there and right there. That was another reason why I haven't put out any videos lately, is because of the basement. It's just trying to get that taken care of first. Okay, so this fits perfectly in between the inner score lines. So I'm going to attach these, and it's so hard to see the score lines with this paper. One thing I do love about the candy cane line is that the colors are so vibrant and pretty easy to see. They're not like this, kind of blends. These colors just kind of blend together, which, you know, paper lines should do that. But, I just liked the more bright colors on the candy cane line. This is pretty, don't get me wrong. It's just a little bit more on the romantic side and not on the playful side, I guess I'm trying to say. Stick this right on top of that bigger pocket. You know what I forgot to do, and that's totally fine. I forgot to do the circles, but that is actually not a big deal. Now I want to cover this part too, just to break that up and to get this tab hidden. So let me find a paper that would work for that. I thought I had one cut. Give me 1 second. I have found the paper, and I'm going to have to cut it down, but I do want to make sure it will be able to tuck under there. So I think I'm going to use this edge, and I'm going to cut it down so it'll fit into that pocket, and I'm just going to use my pencil. If I can find that score line. Actually, I'm just going to cut this. I know that those pockets are 4 7/8, so I'm just going to cut it a little shorter than that. This is not the paper trimmer I usually use. I have a big, like, what are they called? Guillotine. Actually, this is not 4 7/8. It's 3. It's 4, right? Let me measure it. Let me get out my measuring tool. Yeah, it's 4 and 8, so it's 4. So let's cut that a little under 4. Let's do like right there. But that paper trimmer is just way too big to bring into screen. And you know, I missed it by just a little bit, so hopefully I can trim off. Yeah, this paper trimmer does not like to do small trims. So let me go over to my paper trimmer real quick. I have it trimmed to the right size now, and I just cleaned up real quick. So it's just going to stick right in there, just like that. I'm going to put a strip adhesive on the top and just a little bit of glue under that so it will stick to the back. Okay, when you're using a bottle like this, you want your needle to be rust free, and that is super important, or it's going to turn your glue brown, especially if it sits for a couple days. So that is super important. And I tend to lose my pens, or some of them have just broke, because I use those pins in a couple bottles like this, and if I don't use this bottle of adhesive, this will get stuck. This needle will get stuck in there. The pin will get stuck. So I did go to Joann's and buy some rust-free. This is number 31 long color ball pins. I do recommend having this on hand if you are using needle point pins for your glue. Because they're rust free. You get them in the notions section. I want to say they're quilting pins, but they're really inexpensive. I've had that one for a few years, but they are a lifesaver, especially when that pin breaks, or sometimes you lose it. You'll lose the pin. Okay, the book is done. How quick and easy was that? And it's super, super cute. The more I'm looking at this paper, the more I just love it. Now you can ink the edges. I decided not to ink the edges because I just wanted to make this tutorial pretty quick, but this would be gorgeous inked with a little walnut stain just to age it up a little bit. There is one last thing I want to do. I am going to put a magnet inside this pocket and a magnet here. So here's my box of magnets. Now I do have basic gray magnets, which you can get in a shop. I know that the Greetery has magnets, so I'll link that, and I'll also look and see if scrapbook.com has those magnets in stock. And I'll also link this paper down below if you're interested in it, and I'll link the candy cane lane paper too. I know I'm gonna buy another pack today. Oh, so bad. So these magnets I bought off of eBay when I started doing mini albums years ago, because the basic gray magnets, as sweet as they are, and because, you know, especially if you're not using magnets that much, the price was okay, but they get expensive when you're making a lot of albums. So I just found these little discs on eBay for $10, including the shipping. So I was like, yeah, I will get that. And you see how much magnets come, and I probably have used a third of them. So it's very important to know how the magnets come together. So I'm going to take the bottom magnet and I'm going to stick the adhesive on the top of it. And I'm just putting some score tape on it. I'm actually going to double it. So I'm going to take that off, add another score tape piece, and I'm going to use my 0 center ruler. Turn my pocket over here, 0 center ruler, make sure I get this magnet, here we go, right in the middle. And I'm going to use my reverse tweezers, and I'm going to stick this in pretty deep into the pocket. So I think that is a good place. Okay, and then this magnet will be able to find its partner, just like that. So let's do it one more time. And now, because I'm going to be closing it, you want to make sure you have the cover. Don't put it on this paper. You want to put it on this paper. So I know I need the adhesive on this side because I'm just putting it right onto that paper. So I'm going to slide that off, get the adhesive on. I also cut up a whole bunch of elements and note cards from the paper pad. There's a whole page of tags. I cut up a couple tags just to fill this book up with. I'll show those to you real quick. Actually, let me put some in here because I don't want to put it on when this is really soft. I want there to be, see how this will be a lot better. Okay. And before I close it, I do want to make sure that everything is straight, because once that magnet is down, those two magnets are always going to attach each other, and that book is, and however the book position was when you attached it, that's how it's always going to close. Okay, I really like this cover. So the magnets on, I will cover that with, excuse me, an ephemera piece, and I'll just quickly, hold on real quick. Excuse me. So here are some of the pieces that I cut up already. I will ink these. That's really cute. But let's see. You see how easy these go in here too? Just back it with cardstock, put your pictures in it. Super cute. But I would just go through and pick out one that I think would match. They're all pretty much the same color. I did put some ink on this one just to see what it looked like, and I love it. So if I make this book again, I will ink the edges. Looking at this, I kind of wish I did. But I'll just add some adhesive on this. Actually, I'll just do it real quick. And then this book is done. Just put your pictures in it. I'll show you what it looks like how much room you have before the pictures go in it to after the pictures go in it. I'm pretty sure I got the score lines good to give you enough room to fill it up. I don't like when books like really curve or buckle because it doesn't have a lot of room left after all the paper and cardstock and pockets and all that. So I did try to keep as much room as possible for pictures and whatnot. When I put my papers on, I like to just put the center on first, make sure it's straight, then I'm not committed to all of the adhesive. It's a lot easier to reposition when you have just one small piece of adhesive exposed. And then I use my reverse tweezers to take the backing off of the rest of the adhesive. I do this with my cards. When I make cards, I've done it for years. It's just a habit. All right, there you go. That is the book. That's how much room you have inside. This is what mine looks like completely full. So it does have a little bit of a curve, but I'm totally okay with that. If anything, you can just add like an extra 1/8 inch when you score this line. So this line was scored at, this is the 4 3/4 line. So if you want to score it, I don't know, score it a little like 1/8 less. So what is that? 5/8, 4 5/8 instead of 4 3/4. That'll give you a little bit more room. It'll just bring the cover over a little bit. But that's all that I have for today. Let me know what you think. Is this a video that you like? Is this a folio you like? I have more that I can share. I will have another video out shortly. I do want to make an ornament. I have one in mind that is with paper clay. So I'm going to be doing an ornament soon, but I'm also going to be prepping for my trip and just all of that too. So life is pretty busy, so bear with me. But thank you for hanging out with me. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll be back shortly with another video. So I'll see you then. Take care, friends.